Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning scan video for January 26, 2019. A few things happened overnight that I want to go over. Also, I just put two polls for you guys to vote on in the group, and I want to kind of verbally explain my thought process for that as well. So in the announcements section, what I did is basically just put a brief intro of my goal for the group, stuff like that. And the first question is, would you take advantage of a spot scalp charts channel? So basically what that would be is every day, if there's enough volume on Binance Alt, what I'll do is do a breakdown of one of the charts, possibly put like a buy zone, like, I don't know, something like this, where I would go, okay, ladder maybe buys there, ladder sells here, I don't know, and go for 1 to 2%, just something like that. Because I feel like I don't want people to feel like they have to wait for me to enter into trades or take a spot scalp position, something like that. So I think that will help with building confidence and things like that. So I don't know, just an idea, so you can vote on that question in that poll there. And then the second question is, would you take advantage of a trades ideas channel? So basically what that would be is, for you guys know by now that sometimes I feel uncomfortable taking specific positions just because I don't see the confirmation that I'm looking for. But of course, my trading style differs from other people, and of course, again, I can always be wrong. So for example, my most recent one of these is Litecoin. So I said that I want to enter possibly on the second retest, right? But someone could feel like, I'm pretty confident in Litecoin. I think it's going to bounce here. So what I could have done is posted a trade idea and say, okay, maybe you can start laddering buys at this swing high here. And then you would have gotten filled and target, I don't know, something over up here or right here. It was just an idea, so I could just do an in-depth analysis of different coins on BitMEX or even Binance. And just so, again, people feel like they can go off on their own and do some trading that way. It's just an idea. So if you guys don't like it, just give me feedback. These polls are 100% anonymous, so I don't know who's voting yes or no. So just please vote in those. It would be a huge help for me. I always want to optimize the group and make the group better for everyone, make everyone have a better experience. But anyway, let's get into the charts here. Let's start with Bitcoin. Of course, we got stopped out here. It tapped my equilibrium. Let's take a look at the volume. This is the first time I'm looking at these charts today, so let's see here. This just looks like a complete stop hunt. Okay, so we tapped my equilibrium, and this spot that I've been talking about in the morning scan videos, I said that if we got stopped out, I would look to start laddering shorts at the equilibrium, or this block here at 36.60 is where I wanted to reshort. So obviously I didn't have orders set there. I did get stopped out. Where would be another decent place to short though? Probably here. Maybe. Oops. Maybe right there. Well, 575 still has to hold as support. So as long as 575 holds as support, actually, I could see continued tests at the equilibrium and monthly open, but ideally I would love to enter a short here. But the problem with that is I feel like this was just a complete stop hunt and a one-time thing, kind of like this right here actually. Do you see this right here? So we had just a complete FU wick right into resistance, and then we bled out and dumped. So it looks kind of similar to this. I'm not saying the same exact thing will happen. Of course, I still think we're going to around 3200s area. But yeah, that's just something to be on the lookout for. Ideally, I would like to enter at 3660. It didn't happen this time around, of course. But maybe enter here if I'm feeling a little bit risky, or of course 3660. But I don't really want to rush into any positions right now, just out of frustration that I got stopped out. Again, I was totally fine with the risk. I was happy with whatever happened, and unfortunately for me, it was getting stopped out. But I'm happy with that so far. My next position that I'll feel more confident in, of course, is the two shorts that I mentioned there, possibly, or where's this other chart here? When the weekly open breaks down as support. So this is my next short that I would absolutely take this position, even if it's on the weekend. So something like this. I expect some chop above the key support and resistance because, it held for so long here. We briefly broke above it here as a fake out, broke below, and we've been chopping between the weekly open and key support and resistance for a few days now. Finally broke above it. So if we just broke below it again, that would be notable. But I would feel way more comfortable shorting a retest of a breakdown of the weekly open. So that's something to look out for. The weekly open, of course, is 3535, so you can mark that out on your charts as well. An area of interest. I'll absolutely be shorting a retest of that. Of course, it's not catching the top, right? We're not going to catch the exact top, which is fine with me, but that's a trade I would feel comfortable with taking. So that's good there. Ethereum, what's interesting to me is we got this wick here, right? But Ethereum didn't even move. When did this wick actually happen? Let's see. 4? Yeah, look at that. Look at the pathetic Ethereum move after that. So that's why I'm leaning more towards that this is going to be a repeat of right here. So a huge FU wick up and then just bleeding out into an eventual dump. So if you guys didn't know, Ethereum and Bitcoin mirrors each other's price action, so that's my thought process with that one. I'm not adding to my Ethereum position until this range low breaks down as support, and if somehow Ethereum pulls through and establishes red as support, I'll just cut my short position and realize the profit there. I'm about 0.04 XBT in profit there, and I definitely don't want to leave that much on the table. So if I see any signs of strength, I'm taking that profit and running for the hills. But for now, I still see more downside here. And sure, maybe we won't be in a Bitcoin short, but we do have that Ethereum short, which is still looking good for my eventual take profit. That's a little bit further down here. Lastly, what did I want to go over? Oh yeah, Tron. I'm still in a short position for Tron. I forget what my entry is, but it's somewhere maybe 376 or something, so I'm a little bit underwater now. We have a pretty strong 4-hour candle here that broke above the range high, but what's good about this candle is it's taking all of the highs here, and it does look like a lower high, right? We have our original high. I guess this would be a lower high, so it's not a lower high, but it did take the highs there. So a rejection here is really ideal, and I really need to see that, or else that position will absolutely get stopped out as well. Bitcoin on Binance, or Tron on Binance looks strong as well. So keep an eye on this hourly volume. If we still see this strong hourly volume, the position on MEX is going to get stopped out almost for sure. We can see the volume on BitMEX already going down, but I don't like how it's still hanging around the range high area. It's not making me feel very comfortable in the position at all. So we do need to see some sort of rejection in this block here, or like I said, we're going to get stopped out. So it's worth noting that there. Anything I could put on the Binance chart that could possibly help with an area of rejection? Sorry, this was just a chart I was messing around with. Right here. It's testing a daily block right now. If it does break above that, then I could see a test of right here, which is what, 853 sats, which will almost definitely stop out the BitMEX position. But this is something I would definitely re-short. This just looks way overextended. There's barely any pullbacks on these moves up, So I just think that this is going to be a good short when the time comes. I already believe the time came for that, which is why, of course, I entered into the short. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see if we get stopped out or not. It's testing a daily block right now, and if it breaks through, it's just a better opportunity to reshort higher. That's how I'm looking at it. Totally not concerned if I do get stopped. And ADA, I'm pretty sure is pretty neutral still. Yeah, ADA looks pretty neutral still. EOS, I'm not trading. Ripple is still bleeding to fill that wick, it looks like. I've been mentioning how I think Ripple's going to fill this wick for a few days now, and it looks like it's still bleeding into that wick. So that's good. But I'm still not really interested in a short because it's the same thing, right? Same thing as Tron, but Tron looks overextended to the upside. This looks the same but opposite, just bleeding without any attempts to push back up. So I really don't think this would be a good short, even though I do believe that wick is going to get filled. What else did I miss? Ethereum I went over. Bitcoin Cash is back in the range, so I'll be looking for shorts on this soon. And it's just the same exact trade that I've taken 3 times, I think. Or this will be the 3rd time whenever I take it. So I'm looking for continued closes below the equilibrium. I think I'm actually going to place a short below the equilibrium, probably like 357, 356 entry, which is the same exact trade we took a few days ago, if you guys remember, and we came out in profit on that, which was nice. But I think I'm going to take that same exact trade. This looks like it was a fake out above the equilibrium, some distribution above there, but this did look pretty strong because of the series of kind of higher lows. Of course, you didn't see that much of a pullback, but it was, it did look pretty strong because it held the equilibrium as support. But now since that broke down, I feel like I want to short a retest of that equilibrium. So I'll be on the lookout for that. I may place some asks there actually, because this range has been working out very well for me. So why not just continue trading it until it doesn't work anymore? That's kind of my thought process for my trading ranges most of the time. I think that's everything I want to go over. This is my intraday chart here. We can see we're testing the key support and resistance now after bleeding out for the last few hours after the enormous wick up. What else here? Ooh. What's this? 36.12. I'm just looking for a possible short entry. Yeah, this is probably right here. This block here. Is it? Yeah, 36.12. I like 36.12 for a short actually. Where could I place my stop loss though? Let's say I have a short here. I have a, I don't know, 36.14 entry. I feel like that's rushing into a position though. If I took a short at 36.12, because it's only Saturday and it's only really 10 hours into the day. So we could still see some more weekend chop, and I feel like that would be very, very rushed. So maybe that's not a position I want to take. Ideally, in a perfect world, I would like to take this. So 36.84 entry, or start laddering at 36.70 all the way to 36.84, because this is the origin of the breakdown. That's still been untested, really. I mean, this wick, of course, kind of tested it, but it's still untested. And you know what? Maybe over the weekend I'll just set some asks there and see what happens. If they get filled, great. If not, then I'm not too worried about it. I'll just short retest of the weekly open. But I really would love a short there, to be honest. That's something I would feel very comfortable in. And what could my stop loss be? Let's see, I entered there, something like that. I could have a pretty tight stop on that. I'd have a stop right there because I would have protection from this little area here, and all of these wicks here should act as a support and resistance flip. All of these wicks above. Yeah, I would love a short there. Again, I don't know if I'm going to get it because this looks pretty similar to... Was this actually a week ago this happened? Yeah, it looks like this happened last Saturday now that I'm looking at it again. So, I don't know. Maybe that will happen again, but I'm going to set some asks there actually. After I end the video, I'm going to set some positions there. I'll give you guys a notification as well, of course. But other than that, I don't want to continue and talk about the same things in circles like I normally do. So if you guys have any questions about anything, as always, please feel free to ask.